or abstentions, but I'll check. Okay. All right, so is there another motion?
Yes, I move to approve an ordinance entitled, an ordinance appropriating $980,000 for the costs in connection with the O'Brien Stadium athletic field improvements and authorizing the issue of $980,000 bonds and notes to finance the appropriation.
Second.
Second.
Oh, wow. All right, so Councilor Walker, I think I might have heard you first, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll turn it over to our town manager for any further information.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this item was introduced at the last town council meeting as well. This is looking to propose a replacement of the synthetic turf field at O'Brien Stadium. This project was last completed back in 2014. The turf has reached its projected lifespan, is in need of replacement, and has been part of the capital improvement plan these last few years, is included in the FY25 schedule. The engineering department has evaluated the product and pricing from a number of companies through the CREC marketplace, and vendors in the marketplace have been chosen in accordance with the approved purchasing regulations. I do want to mention that there were some items that were brought forth at the last meeting I just want to discuss, and one of those was in regards to injuries. I do want to just mention that we have spoken with the risk manager, who has notified us that there have been no known injuries from the existing turf field over the last 5 years that have caused burns. There were some concerns in regards to environmental. We do want to let the council know that according to the manufacturer, that the products that are being proposed, the artificial grass itself, the infill, and the shock pad are not made with PFAS chemicals. The supplier also takes measures to ensure that those substances are not added to their products through material design, production, as well as through their supplier controls. Staff has looked at what the cost would be if we were to revert back to a natural grass field. In order for us to do that work, we would need to remove the base that is currently there. There would be some substantial drainage work as well, and the project could essentially be anywhere between 1.1 and 1.3 million, depending upon that drainage. If we go with a certain drainage type, it actually impacts the playing size of the field, which would reduce some of the sports that are eligible to play on that field, as well as increasing the maintenance costs, which roughly right now with the synthetic turf field are at approximately $18,000 a year. That would need to be increased to approximately $55,000 a year, and that does not include any irrigation, or if we were to look at replacing segments with sod just based upon heavy use on that field as well. There would also have to be a decrease in the usage that would be on the field as well for the sports that are participating on that field, as well as any of the recreation programs. I can answer any other questions. I actually do want to just mention one more thing. There was a mention about a study in Springfield, Massachusetts in regards to their fields, and we did reach out to the city to just inquire what they were doing with their athletic programs at their high schools, and they are currently using artificial turf fields. They actually just recently unveiled a field last month at one of their high schools, and they are continuing to use those for their athletic programs at their high schools throughout the city.
Thank you, Mr. Colby. And I just want to add to the conversation that Councilor Eleveld and I, we were on the board when this was a conversation. Councilor Walker, I believe you were just crossing with the town council as well. So this is something that we've talked about, and we've had experts come in and speak to us about the turf fields and, you know, the rationale as to why. And in my opinion, I do think grass is more dangerous. Just from, I ran track in high school, and while I wasn't on the grass field, just thinking about my classmates and them being out there and some of the injuries that they had from being just on the grass. So I'm in favor of us continuing to use the turf. Of course, we want to ensure that we are environmentally sound, and I appreciate the commentary from the various coaches on tonight as well, because they're also concerned. We want to do what's best for our students and ensuring that we are not putting anything out there that could really harm them. So I'm going to vote in favor of us moving forward with the turf fields and for years to come. We heard them tonight. I don't know, Mr. Walker, maybe we can find some more money to build a few more turf fields. What do you think?
Madam Mayor, I've gotten in trouble about turf and lights at the football field. I'll defer this one to you.
Good job, good job. But in all seriousness, I am really excited that we can continue to provide this type of campus. And it's a beautiful thing to drive by and see the students out there practicing. And they also take it as a sense of pride that they have this campus for the Windsor Warriors. And you all know I'm a graduate, so I'll stop there. Whisper, okay. Ladies. All right, Councilor Naeem, then Councilor Elliott.
Thank you so much. Just one more thing I want to call out. There were some concerns around the pellets that are used in the field, and that being, if ingested in large amounts, could have harmful effects. And I know that the staff did look into alternatives that would be, I believe, wood-based pellets.
Yes, there was an alternative product as an infill that could replace the rubber infill. That is a 100% organic. There's no additives, no coating to that. And with that product, it's fairly new. It wasn't recommended because while they're stating that the manufacturer states that it has a 10-year warranty, we haven't been able to see that it has that longevity yet.
So I just wanted to point that out. That is an additional $35,000 cost, but not knowing if that'll reduce the lifeline of this turf by half is a big risk to take. So other than that, I am in agreement with everything else you said.
Thank you, and not knowing what the effects may be if we went to something like that is also important to lift up. Councilor Elliott.
Thank you. So, Mr. Colby, in the long and the short, on the economic side of it, we're looking at about $1.3 million to replace it with good old-fashioned dirt and grass, and then another over $50,000 a year to maintain it. So our cost would end up being almost $2 million over the course of 10 years.
To go back to grass.
To go back to grass.
But just one more point of order. And in addition to that, we would have to figure out replacement fields for instead of 7, maybe only 3 teams can use it. So those other four teams have to get bused to other fields that need maintenance to be able to kept up. So I do think it's a little bit harder to estimate, but it would be more than the $2 million.
Well, and based on the numbers, we're not even counting inflation into those numbers. 10 years is a period of time. And yet, the artificial turf that we're looking at is just under $1 million. We've heard from the coaches who've made it very clear that the artificial turf is a preferred playing surface. And I specifically had asked if there were any injuries to the coaches that they're aware of, and they said no. However, there would be a greater risk on real grass due to the fact that the ground, as we all who have lawns know, it gets soft and it gets hard. And when it's hard, it's hard. And that could be detrimental to our students, plus the tremendous use that they get. We also heard tonight several people voice the desire for a second field because these are so heavily used by multiple sports. So it's something that we may have to take a look at over the next several years. I appreciate the comments relative to the safety and to the environmental aspects. However, economically, as my favorite comment is, anything that's, I use the term loosely green, usually refers to green out of your pockets in large amounts. I think that, and real grass also requires chemicals. There's more difficulty. I see no reason we cannot support this. I will be voting for it. Makes a lot of sense economically. It makes sense for use purposes, and it's beneficial to our students who have I think we can agree, a potentially safer surface to play on. So I will be voting in favor of it. Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
I just want to add that, I know we were all, we did a lot of analysis of this, and I did want to mention that we also analyzed the environmental concerns. And currently, the Department of Public Health and the EPA have indicated that there are not releases into the environment that are tangible from these fields. And there is, the material being used is PFAS-free. So I just want to mention that. We did look at the environmental concerns and weigh those as well.
Councilor Walker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a lot to say tonight about this. And I really want to start by telling you, Madam Mayor, I agree
Oh,
with you.
Lord.
Oh, jeez. Trouble.
Thank
This
you.
is not.
Councilor Pelkey, I tried.
One. I'm gonna keep track.
Okay.
Good.
Go ahead, yes, all
give me
right.
a high five.
A high five, elbow. Okay, we'll do an elbow. All right.
I forgot.
Yes, see, I'm trying, see?
Thank
All
you.
right, that's two, Councilor Gladwell. That's two.
I agree
All
with
right,
you.
I agree with you, all
I'm
right.
going to think we're having fun up here.
Call to question?
Yes. Are you ready for the vote, councilors?
Yes.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Any nays, abstentions? So that motion passes 9-0-0. Thank you so much, councilors. And I'm really grateful that our students will have turf for years to come. All right. Moving to item number 12, new business. Is there a motion?
Of course. I'm on the wrong one,
That's
though.
okay.
How did that
All the
happen?
ingredients
Yes,
throw
all
her
the,
off.
right. It always throws us off,
I
right?
move
All the
that